Hello everyone, this is Khalid Mahmood. Today I am going to show you what is a blockchain. Hopefully after this tutorial you will get a clear understanding about blockchain. Blockchain is not a new concept. In 1991, two computer scientists named Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornetta developed or published a research paper that how to timestamp a digital document, and this was the first concept of blockchain. After that, various scientists came up and developed this concept or this blockchain technology. What is a blockchain? According to Wikipedia, a blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. And in blockchain, there are a lot of blocks, each containing several fields. For example, it has data field, previous hash field, and it has its own hash field. What is a Genesis block? Genesis block is the very first block in a blockchain. It has some data, but it has no previous hash because it is the very first block in the blockchain. That's why the previous hash is showing 000, and it has its own hash generated from data, block number, etc. And when another new block is being added in the blockchain, you can see that the previous hash refers to the block number 1 hash, and when another block is being added, the previous hash is linked to the block number 2. In this way, all are the blocks are linked cryptographically in a blockchain. Now, to understand a blockchain better, we need to understand immutable ledger. What is immutable ledger? To understand this properly or clearly, we can give an example. For example, you have some money and you want to buy a house. When you buy a house, you get a deed or a piece of paper that documents that you are the owner of the house. And in traditional ledger, there it is very easy for an attacker to temper the deed. When someone comes to temper the deed, it is very much easy for him. If somehow he can temper the deed, then you are not anymore the owner of the house. The attacker is the owner of the house. Now, this is the traditional ledger, and what happens with the blockchain technology? For example, all of the transactions of the house from the beginning are stored in a blockchain. And as you can see that the green block is the transaction details of the buying of the house. Let's assume that after buying the house, several transactions are added. For example, you bought some furnitures for the house, or you colored the house. At some time, if some attacker comes to temper the data in the blockchain, though it is nearly impossible to change any data in a block that is already stored, if somehow he can temper the data in the block, then according to the SHA-256 hashing algorithm, the hash of the block is being changed. So what happens? If the hash is being changed, then the next block has a previous hash, and this previous hash will not match to its previous hash because the hash number is already changed. And to make the blocks valid, the attacker needs to change each and every block's hash after that block. So it is completely almost impossible for an attacker to change all the hashes of all the blocks. This is the main concept of immutable ledger. It is very much difficult for an attacker to change the data, to change the hash in a blockchain. Now let's discuss with what is distributed P2P network. In traditional website or web server, we have dealt with centralized server, centralized database. But in distributed P2P network, there is no centralized database. Each and every computer or each and every node acts as a database. For example, in the blockchain network, there are 10 or 10 thousands of laptops or stakeholders, and each and every stakeholder's laptop work as a single database, and each blockchain has a copy in the laptop. When a block is being added or mined, then all other laptop has the copy of the same block. And let's say after 2 or 3 months several blocks are being added, and if an attacker comes and tries to tamper the data, then what happens? For the same thing happens as discussed previously. The block number, if data is changed, then the hash number also being changed, and the previous block, the block next to it, will not match with it any longer. That's why the blockchain will not be valid anymore. And what happens when the other laptops tries to match with this blockchain? They communicate with this laptop that your blockchain is not same with us. Your blockchain seems to be tempered. So we have the same identical blockchain in most of our computers. So we are copying our blockchain with you. In this way, the distributed peer-to-peer network worked. So this is almost nearly impossible for any attacker to change the blocks in each and every laptops in each and every node. This is the main concept of blockchain technology. Thank you so much.